One. We got thumbs down already. Niggas is hating already before we even got in the room. Shout out to everybody in the room. Cool. What up with you, man? Halloween's tomorrow, so I got the Michael jacket on.
I was about to say, now we haven't really talked all day and we did not plan this.
We did not.
I've been on a little R&B kick today, Mike. I'm going to tell you something. It was special. Mike, tell me why on my music mix, Lady in My Life by Michael Jackson played.
Great.
And then Diamonds and Pearls by Prince played. And then, Mike, listen, and then Knocks Me Off My Feet by Stevie Wonder played.
The Holy Trinity.
And then right after that, For the Love of You by the Isley Brothers played. And those 4 songs played in a row. And I say this in all seriousness. I would trade all these R&B and rap niggas for Mike or Prince back. I would. Trade your ass.
We're gonna have a conversation on that today, man.
R&B sucks, Mike.
You know what? This is how I feel about R&B.
Sucks.
This is how I feel about R&B, Coop. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine about this the other day. They talk about people like Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber taking over R&B. I think the problem with R&B currently is R&B doesn't have a platform or a stage. Hip-hop is taking all of R&B's platforms. There aren't any R&B radio stations that are going to cater to just new R&B artists. They're not. But for the white R&B artists, they got the pop stations that'll show them love, and then they can cross over after that. I feel like hip-hop has really taken a lot of luster from R&B. It's taken its singers, it's taken its musicians, producers, and it's taken its platforms.
No, I think the problem, well, there's a couple things. So I do believe there's some credence to some of the things you were saying. I also firmly believe, Mike, after listening to those 4 songs in a row, these guys and girls just are not as good. They're not as talented, Mike.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I mean, I feel like the up-and-coming rappers aren't as talented as the MCs that were coming out in the 90s. Yeah, the singers just aren't.
They're not as talented, Mike.
They're just not. I mean, there's no Whitney Houston's walking through the door.
I can't see you right now.
Oh, you can't see? Oh, okay. I think I froze up for a second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. All
right, cool. Let me mess around with this real quick. I mean, but...
But hold on. Let me offer you another caveat to this, too. Mm-hmm. It's not just that they're not as talented, Mike. It's almost like because of hip-hop's comeuppance in the past 2 decades, 3 decades, that too many of these R&B guys want to be rappers.
Exactly. I mean, nobody wants to grow up and be a singer anymore. They want to be rappers.
Which is some bullshit, Mike. I wanted to sing.
Yeah. Max with the super chat says, Fever is by far the best song on Magic 3. You know, according to you guys' polls, we polled all the albums that everybody talks about, and people are saying Magic 3's album of the year. And this wasn't even on our YouTube channel, because I know they say YouTube channel is a Nas channel, whatever. This was on, on Facebook. And, Nas, I mean, I can't argue that. I mean, he got 2 times the votes that Killer Mike's Michael album did. But back to our R&B discussion, and we'll get into the show.
Yeah, these dudes want to be rappers. It's like, stop that. I wanted to be Bobby Brown, nigga.
Well, I mean, all right, let's look at even BET, right?
Mike, didn't nobody want to be a rapper over being Bobby Brown in 1988? If you wanted to be a rapper instead of being Bobby Brown in 1988, something is fundamentally wrong with you. If you wanted to, unless you were Tupac, Mike, you wanted to be part of Jodeci or Boyz II Men in 1993.
No, that's real. Thumbs up in the chat. And BBD, I feel like, is one of the most influential collectives of the early 90s. There's no In Vogues walking through the door. There's no Jodeci's walking through the door. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. You know what I mean?
In Vogue vocally might be the greatest group that ever existed. All 4 of them are solo singers.
Exactly. And the beauty of that group is if you listen to any of their important records, it's a different member singing lead. And when any of them fall to the back and don't sing lead, the harmonies are perfect in the background. So member for member, I'm with you.
Mike, Don't Go by In Vogue came on. Not the Don't Let Go one from the soundtrack, but the original Don't Go from Born to Sing with a Mike, I was floored. I forgot who the fuck was singing. I was like, hold on. I was like, is that Dawn?
Yeah.
Is that Terry? I was like, who the fuck is... I was like, it don't matter who's singing.
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. That's why the album called Born to Sing.
Listen, they are probably the most balanced group vocally I think I've ever experienced. I mean, we would have to go back to the
I wish Dawn
emotions.
wouldn't have left them. Like, they would be in the conversation for greatest group ever had she stayed. Like,
Oh,
period.
for sure.
Yeah,
When you
they were
think
like that.
about even the vocal power of a group like the Temptations or whatnot, they still had somebody like, Otis, who really didn't sing lead, but everybody else, obviously. But in Vogue, there were no vocal weak links there at all. You could put any of them on a song and the song could be a hit. And
I
they've
mean, and
proven that.
not to be funny, because it's a pretty people business, Mike. They were all fine as hell.
That too.
They were all fine. They were all different type of fine too.
They were put together though. And that makes sense. But the people that put them together did an incredible job.
Like, man,
Yeah.
by the time Knocks Me Off My Feet was done, I was like, I'm done with these niggas. Like, these today niggas, I'm done with these niggas.
I don't know what needs to happen for R&B to be better. I was listening to the radio. I try to listen to the R&B stations when I do listen to the radio. And there is October London out there. I don't know if you've heard of October London.
Yes. Mulholland Drive might be my favorite record last year.
Yeah, and Snoop has been.
You sound like Marvin.
He does, and it's kind of a problem at this point, though. And I think October London's incredibly talented, but it's kind of like what I said about Gorilla Black when he came out. It's one thing that you sound like Big, but to say the things that Big would say in the way that he says them, that becomes something else. Because you can't help your voice. But when October London's out there doing you, stuff like that, and it's like, don't do that. You know what I mean? I get it. But you want to have your own identity. And I know that you don't really love Bruno Mars like that. But what I will give Bruno, you can hear his influence, but he still has his own sound.
Still a vulture, but yes.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you on that. Dot with the super chat.
Go watch 24 Karat Magic, the video, and tell me that is not the definition of cultural appropriation in modern day time.
I will give you that. The gold chains and all that.
Is that not the song that blew him up? What'd he say?
I don't know. He's been big for a minute.
No.
What was the song that blew him up, y'all?
He wasn't winning no Grammys when he was singing what was it, Nothing on You or whatever. No, he wasn't winning no Grammys when he was doing that shit. He put on some Versace shirts, a gold chain, started talking like a nigga, and all of a sudden he started winning Grammys. It's bullshit.
Him and Anderson .Paak got Album of the Year at the Grammys too. That album's dope.
And you want to know what? I love Anderson .Paak, but I never listened to the album.
The album's dope. You know who else is on there? Bootsy.
I've heard that it's exquisite and a beautiful album, and I don't give no fuck.
Dot with the super chat says, there was a station head versus with It Was Written versus Ready to Die. And song for song, It Was Written surprisingly embarrassed Ready to Die. Now, I don't know about that, guys. Ho. Do you know anything about this, Coop? I think I glanced at this on Twitter.
I do. That's the plug. So Taj.
Okay.
And some of our followers have actually gotten together and they do hip-hop talks.
Okay.
And so they've been doing stuff on Twitter, and Taj and them have been doing station heads. I think Taj has been having one of our main followers, Adriel, is one of the people that does it. Another one of our followers, Sean. Me and Sean talk. Like, you know what I mean? I haven't had the chance to hit him up lately, but me and Sean have gotten on the phone a couple times and had to bill. I really like what they're doing. I just really haven't had time to catch everything. But I did see that. I just didn't have time to catch it.
But speaking of which, not to cut you off, shout out to 007. He was in town. We didn't get a chance to get together because everybody's schedule is fucking crazy right now. But yeah.
Oh, no. 007 was outside with me, Mike.
Okay, cool. I'm glad y'all got together.
He was in the city. He didn't. So it was Morehouse Spelman weekend. So me and some of my people, we went to a Morehouse Spelman event. But 00 had just got off the plane. So he was tired and was hungry. And so he literally went to the Jamaican spot next door while we went and partied.
Okay.
And when we got done partying, we came downstairs and scooped him. But he rolled with me and my people for the night when he was down here. The first night when he landed, he came and kicked it with us.
Well, shout out to 007, man.
Yeah, shout out to 00.
But yeah, you were talking about Sean. You were talking about the It Was Written and Ready to Die thing. Did you attend that, or did you experience what people are saying?
No, I didn't get a chance to, but I'll tell you what, Mike. I knew Ready to Die was in trouble. It Was Written is probably the sneakiest, greatest album hip hop has ever seen because it's sneaky great. It's like, it's one of those things. It's like none of the songs really like stand out, where it's like, oh my God. But every record is like, fuck. He's out rapping everybody, for one. And it's just pieced together so well. It really is an exquisite piece of work. So it doesn't have the feel that Ready to Die has. And it might not even have some of the legendary moments that Ready to Die has. But you could make the argument.
I want to see how this happened. I mean, I know we didn't have this on our show docket, but maybe we should go through this real quick.
I mean, things done change isn't better than the message, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. Damn.
Do you think Gimme the Loot's better than Street Dreams?
Huh.
You see what I'm saying? Mike, do you think Machine Gun Funk is better than I Gave You Power?
It's not.
So Mike, he's down 2-3 records off the jump.
That's true.
And we haven't gotten to the great part of It Was Written, which is like that Take It in Blood, the setup, shootout stretch of the album. So yeah,
I want to go through this. I want to go through this. K. Nicole with the super chat says, no one sings with passion anymore, and it's painful to hear. I'm bored trying to give these new singers a chance. But you know where that comes from? And for the people who are international audience who may not really see it in that way, it comes from church, man. Singers from the previous era had to actually sing in church. And I think that the fact that none of our singers today come from church, we're seeing the effects of it.
If you scared.
Yeah. Because you know what? You couldn't go up there in that church choir, sing lead for anything, and not be a dynamic vocalist. You couldn't. Because you were going to have to do this live in front of a congregation, and you have to sing with a bunch of people who can sing. Everybody in the black church can
sing. And if you're in a Southern congregation and you can't sing like they are about to talk about
you're not even going to feel comfortable enough to even attempt it.
You may not come back to service if you can't sing in the church.
Because everybody can sing. I remember growing up, in the church and seeing people, everybody could sing. It was people that you didn't even think were singers. When they got up there, they were dynamic. So, yeah. And I think the fact that we don't have our singers coming from that institution anymore, you're really seeing the effects on the quality of the vocalists that we're getting. CJ Kid with the super chat says, just wanted to say, hope you guys are doing well, physically and mentally. We don't usually say that due to pride and ego, but I think it's important. Prayers up. Appreciate that, for sure.
Mental health, CJ the Kid, is one of my big things that I'm an advocator of, because I come from a family of people with mental health issues on both sides. I have mental health issues, and mental health issues are real and affect people, and you need to check on motherfuckers and make sure they're okay.
For sure.
Yeah.